Hey everyone, thanks for joining me again today to paint a landscape, this time in portrait orientation and an incredibly simple, fast landscape that I'm going to do in 2 layers. I'm going to put down a background colour and then I'm going to put in super simple landscape elements on the top. So 3 colours all ready to paint a really loose landscape. And before I start, I'm going to do a little swatch to check how this peacock blue will behave with my warm yellow. I'm going to start with this beautiful warm yellow I've got going. And I want lots of it in the mid here, and then a little bit, and then I'm going to come down and add burnt sienna on top of it down here. I know from my practice example that if I put the blue on now, it's going to look very greeny, so I'm going to wait for the blue, but I can go ahead with the burnt sienna in the foreground. So here's my burnt sienna, bit of water turns it to a lovely creamy mix, and I'm just going to put in some beautiful strokes, stripes. I'm getting thinner as I move away from the foreground, and I'm just going to darken that up again. This is sea salt. I'm just going to do a line of sea salt. I can't resist putting a bit more over there, but just a bit, and that will be layer number 1. While I'm here, I'm also going to take my little tiny liner brush and drag water through and split this pigment, just dragging, tickling it through the surface. It's nice, and I'll tip it the other way. Allowed the remainder of the painting to air dry, and as a result I get these really beautiful effects with the salt. I'll just zoom in. So down here you can see the salt flakes are still in place. They're probably not completely dry. If I move them, yeah, I can feel the moisture under them, but I just need them to be dry enough so that I can wipe them off. Yeah, I reckon they are dry enough so that I can wipe them off. Just getting rid of the excess salt. So I'm just going to do a quick little measurement. So my guess is it's here, and then I'm just going to use my pencil to quickly measure that I'm correct. And these are the 3 colours that I'm going to complete the foreground in, and then I'm going to add some of that blue to the sky. I really like elements of what the salt has done there, so I'm pretty much going to leave that. It's a tiny bit damp. Leave that. I will leave some of these lovely backgrounds. I'll darken this a little bit. So I'm going to wet lightly in the center. It's running here. I love that look. I like that this has got a hard line, but I might soften a little bit of it. And if I'm lucky, this will look a little bit like dry sand and wet sand, and then there's this beautiful water. And it is traveling down, so I'm just going to move things off my board and encourage that to move down. I love that look, just love it. That's pretty good. Then I'm going to gently remove that. Oh, it ran under a little bit, but it's all right. It's my horizon line isn't as beautifully level as I would like, but it's close enough. And then just getting rid of that tape, I'm going to add a teensy bit of blue to the sky. I've got this hard line down here, and it's appropriate that in the foreground I would have some hard lines, and then I've got a combination of hard and soft, and then a hard at the horizon line, and then in the sky I've got lots of soft. And just in case I don't have enough soft, I'm just going to get a brush with water, and I might soften a little bit more of those marks. Grab another tissue, and I'll just mop here again. I've got this little stick. It's just a skewer for you know, food, and it's got a hard edge and a soft edge. So I think I'll see whether or not I can just interrupt this line a little bit. Oh, it's nice and wet, so it's making beautiful marks. That's better. Oh, that's much better. It's nice and wet. Oh, I can't resist doing a few more. I'm just having a really good look at it to see if there's anything else that needs to be done. And this is better. Not awesome. Still, I'm not completely happy with that. So I'm going to be forced to paint in some of those grasses. I'm just using my liner brush. It's completely soft in the middle, which is what I wanted. I think I'll leave it to dry on this angle. So this angle, that's hard for you to see, isn't it? I'm going to leave it to dry on about a 30-degree angle. Trying to think of ways to show that on camera. Like that. No, that's not possible. I'm going to leave it on an angle. I'm going to tip it up towards me. And then if there's any paint movement, it's going to move down the page. And then when that's dry, I'm going to pop in birds. I often love the number 3, so I'll put in 3 birds, and I'll see whether or not I need to add anything further to the foreground. Right. Okay, sky is now dry, and I'm going to put in a few birds. So before I put in the birds, I'm going to practice them on a spare piece of paper. That way I can practice what color I'm going to use. For example, if I put in some blue, some burnt sienna birds, will that look? No. Right, I'm going to mix some burnt sienna with some of the turquoise. How's that? What's that color like? It's a bit khaki. It's a really khaki green. So I don't really love that combination. I'll just get rid of that. next combo, I'm going to go burnt sienna and peacock blue. What's that like? At first it's a little khaki, and now I'm adding more burnt sienna. Yeah, lovely. So I've got just a rich brown that's kind of on the greeny side, but it'll be just fine. Okay, so with my little liner brush, I'm going to practice a few birds. Body out, body out, body out, body out, body out. That's how simple they are. The trick is to start at the body, and the other thing that I'm doing is holding my hand up high on the brush. And then where do I want them to appear? Do I want them where you can really see them in the light part, or do I want them low? Do I want to draw attention? Do I want to cover something? Yeah, I think I'm going to put them there because I don't really like this bit. That's where I'm going to put. I'm going to start with one, body, and oops, body out, body out. Now, this one I add, where else will I add another one? A little tiny one that's at the further distance. I don't really want to draw attention up higher. I might go a little lower, maybe there, or maybe that's a little central there. I'm going to go a different direction, body out, and that's good. I'll do a little tiny one here too, body out, oops, missed, body out, and so I've got 1, 2, 3, love threes. I'll just zoom in for the other side. I also don't like this line, so I think I might attempt to disguise this line. And maybe this one's a little bigger. Body out, body out. Oh, that was a little too long. Look, right, that side needs to be longer. That's, I think that's a little more. There, okay, how's that look? I think that, because that's the closest one, it really needs a bit more of a body. So I'm just giving it a little more shape, and that's a little better. And when this is lovely and dry, I will sign it, just seeing if it's dry enough. It's not really. I'm going to sign it down here. I'm going to sign it in this same lovely grey-green colour. There's a bit too much detail in that corner, and there's a little space, and it's lighter in this corner, so Marion Chapman. Right. Thanks so much for joining me. Please give me a thumbs up if you got anything out of the video. I so appreciate if you do. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time. Bye.